Yo, Sotra for back with another video. Now today's video, I'm going to start off, let's not act like what's going on isn't going on, because there's a madness going on right now in the world. Whether you're in England, Australia, America, mainly America, there is a madness going on right now in the world. I just want to start off this video by telling you lot that it doesn't take much to learn. Like, the reason a lot of you lot I hear, a lot of you that watch my reactions whenever I post an Australian reaction, is because I'm not from Australia. Yeah, I've done my research and I've understood the culture. I didn't know what the word Polynesian was. I'd never heard that before I started doing the reactions to your music. And the only reason that some of you guys like my videos so much is because of the detail I actually know about this stuff. Like, I've actually spent time getting to know different rappers, people that have lived over there, people that still live over there, and what life's like for you lot. So when I'm listening to the music, I actually understand. Like, I'm not just listening to music, I'm listening to music that I actually understand every single word. And that's my message to anyone that doesn't understand Black Lives Matter. Please go do your research. It does not cost anything to just talk to some people. Most people have black friends. Literally just ask them, like, yo, like, it's not even awkward. They're your friends. That's what the discussion of the moment is right now. Like, literally just talk to anyone that you're already calm with, people that you normally talk to. Just start a conversation like, yo, what's life like being black? Like, even me, if you're watching this, literally, you can pop up, ask me. I will happily spend time educating you, because I don't want my subscribers. I've got 10,000, nearly 11,000 people on this channel. That's not a massive platform, but that's a platform nonetheless. And I don't like the fact that I've got that kind of platform and I'm not gonna acknowledge what's going on in the real life. So obviously you lot have been wanting another story time. I haven't really been in the mood to do another story time because there's other things going on right now. But you know what, I was like, I don't trust myself to do a whole video in it, because I'll get angry if I start talking about stuff. I'll get angry. I'll say the wrong thing. It will come back to haunt me in the future. So that's all I'm going to say. Literally, just educate yourself. Even if it's me that you talk to, pop up. You know my Instagram. You know my Snapchat. You know my Twitter. Literally, just snap me, tweet me, or DM me on Instagram. Yo, Sachi, honestly, like, can you educate me? Like, just tell me, like, I saw what you said in your video. Just explain. Because what happened to George Floyd, the sad thing is, that's not even going to be the last time it happens, because too many people are uneducated. And until everyone educates themselves, things like that are going to carry on going on. How can people make a protest against a protest? If you scream all lives matter, you're protesting the fact that black people are protesting the fact that their lives do not matter in the eyes of the law over in America. And then you want to go and scream all lives matter as a protest to them, protesting for the fact that they can't even live freely like everyone else. Like, for me, that just makes no sense. And if that angers you, if that makes you want to unsubscribe to this channel, please be my guest. I do not need racists on this channel. I did not start YouTube to create a platform, a free platform for people to come watch my video. If they're going to go off my video, they're going to watch a black man entertain them, and then 10 minutes later, they're on Twitter, they're DMing people racist things, they're on their feed racist, saying racist stuff. I did not start YouTube for that. So if that makes you uncomfortable, if the start of this video makes you uncomfortable, please feel free to leave. Honestly, please leave my channel. I don't create content for people like that. And if you feel like you are like that, but you want to change, DM me. Literally just DM me. And you know what, I might not even make this the story time. I might actually just leave this as one separate video, because this is just a message to anyone that doesn't understand the Black Lives Matter movement. It's really not that hard to understand, and I've been so vocal about it on my Instagram, on Snapchat. I don't even use Snapchat that much, but I've said a little bit there. And literally, it just doesn't cost much to educate yourself, and it just makes me angry. It makes me laugh at the amount of racism going on. Like, you can see what's going on in America, why people are so angry because of what's going on, and yet you're condemning the looting. You're not saying anything, so you're silent the few days when there's no rioting going on, no looting. A black man's lost his life because a police officer has knelt on his neck. Yeah, something that you wouldn't even do to your worst enemy. I know some people that I hate. I would never even dream of doing that. There's no need to ever do that. Yes, you can punch someone in the face, and that does happen in America as well. The police officers are very violent. But what possesses you to kneel on someone's neck? What? So there's people that are seeing that going on and they're staying silent. There's celebrities out there seeing what's going on and they're staying silent. There's celebrities that benefit off of black culture seeing that going on and they're staying silent. But then the moment people start rioting and looting, and now businesses are getting burned and houses and bare cars and that are getting burned, suddenly now there's a problem. Like, now you've actually got something to call black people out on. Now you want to start using your platforms, your voice, to say, oh, look at them black people, they're being violent again. But you're silent. when we're getting killed by the police. And I'm lucky, I live in the UK and I don't really go out too much. I've never been stopped and searched. Not many black people can say that. And a couple of my friends have been stopped and searched. I'm not in a gang. I've never ever been on a ride or know nothing. I'm not a gangster, I know nothing. And I don't have friends that are gangsters. So why are my friends getting stopped and searched when they're just walking around? And I know a couple white people that have been stopped and searched as well. But the fact that I do sociology at school, you're 7 times more likely to get stopped and searched if you're black. And I know people can say, oh yeah, but black on black crime, knife crime, it is black people carrying us. I get that. But why are my friends getting stopped? They've never taken a knife out of their house ever. Just makes no sense. And I've seen bare people on Twitter going on about, oh, why don't you address the real problems first? Black on black knife crime, that's going on. Why don't you deal with that? Fam, please, can you just explain to me, what has an innocent black man losing his life at the hands of a police, no, not even at the hands, at the knee of a police officer, got to, in America, yeah, got to do with knife crime in London? And with me as well, because I'm the first person to say, look, stop sucking up to the Americans. Why you so desperate for their approval? I heard Rush is gonna upload on World Star Hip Hop, and I was like, fam, like we have platforms here, we have GRM Daily, we have Link Up TV. Why don't we grow our platforms? Why is everyone always sucking up to Americans? When my friends try to get me to listen to like Trippie Redd and what's the other guy, Lil Uzi, and I'm like, look, miss me with that American stuff. I hate listening to American music. Like we have our own culture here. Why are you so desperate for their approval? But right now is not the time to be creating an us versus them situation. Right now, it's black people versus people who do not think we are worthy of life. It's not the time. And I saw Wiley on Twitter, he's like, oh, a black man got killed in America. Why are you lot rioting, protesting here? It just makes no sense to me. Like, it just makes no sense. It's like, so it's the equivalent of saying, okay, so that guy that you don't know, there was an injustice to that man. You've never met that man. So why are you angry about it? You've never met him. It's got nothing to do with you. But an injustice is still an injustice. If something's going on that's not right, wherever it's, if it, you know me, if it's in Australia, I'll say something. If it's in the UK, I'll say something. If it's in America, I'm still going to say something. As I said, I've got a platform. I've got nearly 11,000 subscribers. If I'm not using that, it's not millions and millions, but it's something. And if I'm not using that to talk to people, maybe it's not a whole country, maybe it's not going to change the world. But if I can change the mindsets of a couple people, I feel like I've done my little bit. I've actually contributed to something instead of staying silent. Because that's worse. Martin Luther King himself said it. Silence is deafening. And sometimes silence is worse than the violence. Because if you're being silent, you're refusing to acknowledge that there's a problem. And if the problem's right in front of you and you can't acknowledge that, then you become part of the problem because you're not calling the problem out. And I saw James Corden gave a really good speech on his late night show the other day, and he said, look, it's time for people like me to stand out. And I'm not talking about late night shows hosts. I'm not talking about people with platforms. I'm talking about white people. Like, privilege is a real thing. And I'm just grateful that this situation has woken up a lot of white people to realise, look, I am privileged. I saw one man on Twitter say, oh, a couple of years ago I was stopped by the police. There's no difference between me and George Floyd. I was stopped by the police and it was just a regular check. Yet for him, it meant a life sentence. For me, it's just a story I tell at parties. He actually lives to fight another day. I saw George Floyd's daughter on the news yesterday, his baby mother on the news crying her eyes out. Why does this happen to us? We've literally done nothing. I do sociology, as I say, a couple times on this channel because it's very relevant to a lot of things going on. That's why I picked it, because it's a relevant subject. It's actually got to do with the world around me. I don't want to act like I don't live in a crazy world. And in sociology, we watched a documentary called 13th, about the 13th Amendment in America. And it literally, they went from being enslaved to having the whole system against them. Like, you do a very small thing. Sometimes you don't even do anything. George Floyd, they found out the $20 note he used was real. The whole reason he got killed, or the police were brought, was because it was fake. Yeah, it was a counterfeit $20 bill. But they just suspected that. Would they have suspected that if he was white? Maybe. Maybe. Would they have called the police? Yes, maybe. But would the police have taken that man's life if he was white? I don't think so. And then some people want to go on Twitter and start saying, oh, I've done the research. More white people get killed than black people by the police. You're forgetting the country is predominantly white. So that's proportionate to the race. But what you're not looking at is the reasons. Because there's been times, there's school shootings and that. And then the police have to eliminate, when there's an actual threat there in front of them, they eliminate the threat. But what we're talking about, and what makes you a racist for bringing that fact up. Because yes, it may be a fact, but the reason you're racist for bringing up that fact is you're just completely ignoring what is in front of you. You're forgetting why the people are protesting. You're literally sliding past on your feed when you see the video of George getting knelt on by a police officer. You're acting like the hundreds of deaths. I've seen hundreds of names of people in America, literally the last 15 years. What makes you a racist is you're ignoring that. You're acting like the problem doesn't exist. You may not be the police officers in uniform kneeling on a man's neck. You may not be the police officers pulling up cars because the driver's black. But the fact that you're ignoring that happen, you're ignoring the fact that that's happening, is like you're allowing it to happen because you're turning a blind eye. You're seeing someone get robbed and you're turning away. You're not going to the man and telling him to get away from the guy. You're seeing the man getting knelt on. I won't lie, I thought a lot about if I was there, how would I have acted. I can't lie, and a lot of people have said this, to be in that situation, and then, because I know me, I would literally push those officers on. But then I thought, wait a minute, this is America, and this man has done nothing, and that's how they're treating him. If I jump in, if I boot these officers out of the way, God knows what's going to happen to me. Like, you have to think about your safety first. That's why I've seen a lot of people saying, look, as sad as it is, we are literally powerless in these situations. If you ever find yourself in that situation, best thing you can do is record it. Because that way, you're not ignoring the situation. You are focusing your entire attention on the situation. And when you put that video on the internet, millions, billions, the world will see what is going on. So that's my message to you. Like, this video has turned out to be 11 minutes long. I don't care, because I want to educate my subscribers. As I said, I'm not making content for ignorant people. I don't want you lot to be ignorant. This is a black man's channel, and the things going on are affecting black people. So I want the subscribers of this channel, I don't want you to be entertained by me, and then when this is going on, like, you're benefiting off of a black man's entertainment, but when his very people are getting racially abused, you turn around and act like it doesn't happen. Like, that, for me, that makes no sense. So I've said what I want to say. I didn't really want to do this video. I was going to do a story time on the time I was racially abused at school. That may happen. Definitely when I leave, that will happen. But for now, that's all I've got to say. And I've seen a couple YouTubers talk about it. Some of my favourite YouTubers talk about it. And I didn't really think I'd do it. But as I've sat down, I've just kept talking and talking and talking. And I forget how much I like to talk, especially when I've actually got something to talk about. So I've been Saatchi, or Saatchi14. Thank you very much for watching and just listening. And I hope you've listened. I'll be back again soon.